I'll use one of these just a little bit larger. And then I can show you, you can see a little easier what I'm going to be doing here. Again, I want to kind of force that in and into place, kind of take it down. Want it to lock in, and if you notice, I don't take the residue of clay off. I always leave it there. And another way of centering is to bring this up in kind of a method like so. Keep it moist, and if you just hold your hand there, it will almost center itself. All right? And I had some students come back from a neighboring university and say, well, that teacher up there centers with one hand. Well, almost everybody centers with one hand. The other hand's just helping it a little bit. And so what we'll do this time is take this, and I just want to touch that off a little bit. And at any given time, you can knock it out of center and put it back on. Now, the two bowls, I left quite a bit in the bottom for a taller piece. I don't want to leave any in the bottom.
Now that's where you're pulling up against it.
I'm pulling with these, and I'm pushing a little bit with that. So it's a little trick that you learn in opening. So as you center and open, you actually pull the clay up. I always forget that spot. Now I'll show you some advantages of the clay being stiff here as far as shaping this is concerned. I'm just going to collar this in a little bit, and by holding your hands over it and holding it that way, you can force it to go in. And I'm just going to do another quick pull with my fingertips to even the clay out a little bit. Now, if I wanted the outside to be relatively smooth, I would take my hands and just kind of come along this way and smooth some of this out a little bit. But if I wanted to leave finger marks in it, I can leave finger marks on it. So. You can see how this kind of jerks from one spot to the other. So I'll grab this rib here, and I want to get in here. I'm going to go down first a little bit, and then come back up. Then go down, then come back up. Right now I'm using the edge of this on the inside. And that can stretch quite a bit. I'm going to raise the top of this up a little. Yeah, that was to get rid of some of this, and you can see that this is clay that you don't need. And if you do some of these things slowly, it'll stay in shape. But I'm going to take some of this here, take it off, and let me just take this in a little bit more. Take it in quite quickly. Oops. Sitting here thinking about the water dripping off my arm. Now, we can take this tool here. Let me put a little bit of blue on here, and then you can see it easier at a distance, what I'm going to do. And a little bit of the blue will stay. But I'm going to use this metal kidney as a decorative tool. And I'm going to lay this lip down.
So you meant to push it in.
Pardon?
You meant to push it in. Push it in places. You meant to push it in places.
Yeah, I wanted this to have kind of flat spots. Yeah, so that it. Now, a lot of these pieces you may want to hyperglide them off, and a lot of people prefer throwing on bats, but for beginning students it's much easier to learn without a bat. You want to learn to throw with this. Now we could go in and exaggerate those spots on there and make them come out more or whatever.